Today's episode of My Worst Date is brought to you by Audible.
Get a free audiobook download and 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/myworstdate.
Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
Cheers!
I mean, honestly, though, why don't they sponsor us yet?
Yeah.
We should reach out.
We should.
Dear
should
White
reach
Claw.
My dearest White Claw, by the time this letter reaches you, I will have drank an entire variety pack.
If we'd only
Times five.
known at
Also
the time,
put mango in the goddamn variety pack.
Thank you. And
we'd
call it the
only
My
known
Worst Date pack.
at the time that we took our pictures, we would have taken pictures with White Claws instead of
Yeah,
a Shams bottle. But we didn't know at the time.
That one video of that guy, it was like guys that drink White Claw.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
That video is
So
perfect.
good. Isn't that funny?
Basically us.
Yeah.
Basically us, for sure.
It's like, oh, you drink Trulies? Yeah. Do you have an Android too?
I mean, it's true. But you know what? Yesterday when I went to the store before I came over here, I was like, all right, Trulies will do if I can't find any White Claws. There weren't Trulies either.
Ugh.
It was like, I think the 4th of July just decimated all of the spiked seltzer options.
I really think it's just become a thing now.
Yeah, for sure.
As
Well,
to-
I was at a bar. I was in, where was I? I was in Wisconsin last week, and I was at a bar, and they had the mango White Claws. I would like, if I'd known, I would have ordered that.
I put it on menu.
Nice.
I mean, it
Yeah.
makes
Good to know.
sense for people who like me who I don't drink beer,
Yeah.
because it's
Right.
just like, it's too much. It makes me feel too heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you still want something convenient that you can take in a can
Yeah.
somewhere. Like, it makes total sense.
Yeah, they're just perfect for like the beach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. Which we need a beach day. Anthony really wants to go to the beach next
Well, if the
weekend.
weather would ever.
It's going to be
get
90
nice.
something degrees next weekend.
Yeah,
Oh, really?
let's do that. Let's have a beach
Nice.
day. Yes.
Yeah. That's the plan.
I need the
Awesome.
biggest umbrella ever. For my delicate skin.
SPF 1000.
Giant floppy hat.
Still Anthony's again.
Yes.
It's huge. It's perfect.
He
and
loves
huge.
that thing.
So what do we have going on? Well, first of all, this is My Worst Date.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Christina.
I'm Keegan.
I'm Cassie. I like doing it at the top.
Yeah, get it
I
out
like
of the
it.
way.
Fine,
Keegan hates
whatever. I don't know. I think it's more fun when it's unpredictable.
Well, I'm just like,
this whole show is unpredictable. Let's be honest.
Absolutely. We're waking up. We're
Yeah.
having coffee, slightly hungover, recording this today. And what are we going to talk about, ladies?
I don't know. My week's been depressing. I lost my job, so that sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in a glass case of emotion.
Yeah.
We should probably cut all that out. That's fun. Good way to start the show. In my depression hole.
Starting at a high point.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's been crazy, man. I mean, I just got back into town. It's weird. It feels like the 4th of July didn't even happen.
I know, right?
Because we didn't spend it together.
I know.
And like we
know.
have for the last couple of
It's
years.
the worst holiday, actually.
no,
pretty
it's
bummed.
not. It's my anniversary.
Well,
You mean
no
this
one-
year?
Yeah, this
This
year.
year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because like, the 4th of July in general, I love the 4th of
Yeah,
July.
we
I think
always
it's
do like
fun.
big barbecues or big parties,
Yeah.
and we were all spread across the country this year. It was
Yeah.
So weird.
bummer.
And
And-
2 earthquakes happened while we were all gone. That's how
Yes.
much the earth did not appreciate us
Right.
separating.
Yes. I was not here for 2 of the biggest earthquakes that we've had in
Ever.
a while. Yeah.
Ever.
One of them I didn't feel. I didn't notice.
Yeah.
The other one I did. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And on the 4th, it was my cousin's wedding day. And so I didn't even think about it being the 4th of July, like
Right.
at all. Like
Yeah.
I was just running around like doing stuff all day, so it's like it didn't even happen for me.
That's pretty much also one of the best stories I've ever heard in my life.
Listen, another story for another time.
Exactly. No, it really is. I
Yeah.
was like captivated last night.
If things go south, if they end up not together, I will share that story on this podcast.
Right.
Amazing.
Yeah, if they end up together forever, we'll just all have to
bury
lock
that deep
lock
down.
that in the vault. And
Well, even if they do, if they end up together for like a really long time, then it's a
Maybe they'll laugh
funny,
about
wacky
it.
hijinks story.
maybe they'll laugh about it. Yeah, listeners, it was one of the most interesting weddings I've ever attended. It was
I've ever heard of.
one of the most dramatic situations of my life. But every time, I love my family deeply and dearly, but it's just like there are fires to put out like every single time I go over there. Like every time I'm over there to visit, I'm like, how do you guys just live on this level of high drama like all the time? Aren't you tired? I'm tired. I'm emotionally exhausted. I was there for 3 days.
Yeah.
Like,
It's too much.
it's insanity.
I need a vacation from my vacation.
Yeah, man. I truly I have family spread out all across the country. So when I do have vacation time, I'm always using it to go visit family, which I'm happy to do. I want to be connected to my family, but I'm like, man, I need more vacation time that is just like
Just
Vacation.
for you.
just hanging out on a beach somewhere,
Yep.
drinking a drink out of
Amen.
a coconut,
Well, we went up to see the big ass trees, the
Oh,
sequoias.
love
So yeah, lost my job on the 3rd, but I was followed by a trip to the sequoias. So that was nice to like get away, go consume some
like the
nature
most
before.
zen.
Because there's nothing you really can do about anything on a holiday weekend. So you
Right.
might as well like
Right.
be out of town. Who cares?
And
you know?
went to like the most zen
Oh, yeah.
place ever. It's
Dude.
like,
so fucking
it's
beautiful. Yeah.
nature.
I was really moved when I went to see it. Was like I went around the first anniversary.
Oh yeah.
So yeah,
Of your divorce.
of my divorce. So yeah, it was just kind of like for me, seeing the trees was just like, oh, these things have been around for how many hundreds and hundreds of years. They're all like hollowed out, and they need the wildfires in order to survive.
Fascinating.
And so that, to me, I took it as like a metaphor. It's like, okay, I needed to be burned in order to grow and get be
Ooh,
tough.
I
And
love that.
Yeah, it was like so moving to me for me to touch something that big, that strong, that still has to go through these incredible wildfires, but it makes them stronger, it makes them tougher,
Yeah.
it makes them survive. So
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you're turning it around for me.
there you go.
I mean, like I said before, we've talked about this. I mean, I'm a hustler. So, I mean, I'm not concerned about my next chapter or what that's going to look like. And I know I'll come out, on the other side of this.
Oh, yeah.
But it for me was big because I've never really truly lost a job. And it
Right.
sucks to lose a job because of downsizing.
And it sucks to lose
You
a job
know?
that you love.
Yeah. And
It's like
people I
if
love.
you lose a job that like you don't
Give a shit about
love
it. Yeah.
that much, you're just like, I mean, it sucks because you still have to figure out what you're going to do, and change is always hard. Transitions are always super hard.
Hey,
but
fucking men.
if you lose a job that you love,
Yeah.
then that
well,
sucks
they're,
because
like,
you'll find
family.
something else.
Yeah.
Like you'll find something else,
Yeah.
but it's not what you wanted
Yeah.
to do. So
Well, I don't think anybody wanted it. I think that, the idea of downsizing sucks for anybody involved. It sucks
Right.
for the people who are firing you, and it sucks for the people getting fired. So I know that that's not, I truly look at it like I feel bad for the situation across the board because it sucks. But I mean, yeah, like I said, I'm a hustler, so I'm not concerned for the long term. It just was unexpected. So it was shocking. But yeah, I love your metaphor for the trees.
Yeah.
I love that. That's great.
You got to see
Yeah.
him, you got to touch him. So
Yeah.
just draw on that strength and just know that like that fire is part of what makes them so goddamn tough.
Yeah,
So, there you go.
absolutely. Can we talk about the craziest thing that I have seen lately, which is the aerial situation? Like, I cannot believe people are losing their fucking
People are
Again,
boards.
it's
losing
like
their goddamn
anytime
mind.
I leave town, like
Yeah.
something like that drops. I remember one time I was out of town, and it was when those clowns
Oh God, yeah.
were like coming out and like stealing children or whatever was happening, and I'm like, what is going on? It's like every time I'm not paying attention to the news cycle, like something
Something
blows
wild.
up.
Yeah.
And I think it was the 3rd of July is when they announced the new Ariel.
Can we talk about how I read it and was like, Halle Berry?
Dude, honestly, I'm like,
I was like, she's a little older. And then I was like, oh.
Halle Berry's
I mean,
a
she
little
looks
old.
great.
I mean,
she
she's
looks
beautiful,
great,
and
but yeah.
whatever. But like, and then I was like, Oh, okay. That's different.
Halle Bailey.
And by the way, who is she? Because
I know. Her
Where's
and
she
her sister Chloe, they're like insane. From the time that they were young, they were doing music together. It's like Halle and Chloe, or Chloe and Halle, I don't know. But she's
got a
amazing
beautiful voice.
vocalists.
Yeah,
they're amazing
really
vocalists.
good.
And then they ended up on Grownish. I think they're both on Grownish.
Okay.
And now Halle is going to be the new
One of her friends was on Grownish, wasn't he? Wasn't Joe?
Joe. Our friend Joe was on Grownish. Yeah.
We talk about how like too like there's so much like calypso and Jamaican music in the Little Mermaid
For real.
in the like original Disney movies. So it's like this actually makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah.
And also mermaids aren't real, guys.
Yeah, mermaids
they're
are
not real.
What are you talking about?
I was telling Cassie.
They don't have a race. They don't.
I was telling Cassie, like,
So-
there were people online on like Reddit trying to be like, well, scientifically, I just don't think that this makes sense because if you were that far under the ocean, your skin wouldn't be exposed, so melanin wouldn't
Do these
develop.
people
And I'm like,
hobbies?
It's a half fish. We're talking about a mythical creature. It can look like literally anything.
Wow.
Oh my
So,
God.
and Ursula has purple skin. So, do you want to chime in with your scientific
Speaking
explanation?
of, did you see there's a meme about like who should play like Ursula or whatever?
It better be Nina fucking West.
Somebody
Here
put
for
it side by side with Guy Fieri.
Oh, I saw that. It's like, hear me out. But hear me out.
but hear me out.
But hear me out.
No,
I saw that this morning.
I know.
It's so funny.
We were saying it
funny.
should definitely be a drag queen. They
Oh,
should
it absolutely
definitely
has to
hire a
be.
drag queen. But you
And I
know,
love these people who are getting up in arms about the idea of it. And I'm like, fuck you.
I can't
Seriously,
wait.
this
the
character was
character's
made
based-
after Divine.
Yeah, exactly.
And if it's not Nina West, there is no God.
I think it's going to be just hilarious to watch people lose their minds further if we have a black Ariel and a drag queen playing Ursula. Like, it's going to be hilarious. I can't wait. I cannot wait.
I hope
Here's
that's
what I'm
it
going to say.
is. Yeah.
I actually hope that they keep Prince Eric white, because I would love to see
An
more
interracial
couples represented.
Well,
Because
it's already interspecies, so
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, like, what the fuck, guys? Calm the fuck down.
Can we talk about the Would You Rather from last night? We played
Oh
Would
my
You
God,
Rather last night, and
yes.
it was Would You Rather, what was it, Christina?
Would you rather be a reverse centaur or a reverse
Mermaid.
or reverse mermaid?
So
yeah.
have a fish head and a lady body.
Yeah. or a horse head and a lady body.
Oh, God.
So I'm like, I'd love to, it's awful.
They're both awful.
They're both awful.
But I'm going to go for the horse head.
I want to go under the water.
There you go.
I want to be.
Yeah, but like, so you have a fish head, but you still have like weak human legs.
I know. So
you're going to be just like kicking, like trying to like swim around, like kicking your legs.
You got
like,
ate
that
by a
seems
shark
awful.
immediately,
Yeah.
actually. So,
Yeah, I don't
because you
think
can't swim well.
I don't think you, and your fingers and toes would be all pruny. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go horse. I think I'm gonna go horse.
Oh
head.
my God.
You know, there was another would you rather question that was like, would you rather be covered in scales or covered in fur?
Fur.
Scales.
I think
Because I could shave that shit.
I'm fur. They're both bad.
I want to be shimmery. Wouldn't it be kind of? Maybe
Yeah, but
I'm
I feel like
imagining it.
you'd be so like
Like a
rough though. I don't
Yeah.
know. Like I feel like I'd be like, ooh, you're so like scratchy.
Maybe I'm
all the
thinking
time.
like snakes are soft.
If you go one direction, they're soft. If you go against the scales, then they're all like
Right,
rough.
yeah.
I don't know. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm going fur.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going scales.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I
They'll
love
be
would
soft.
you rather questions.
I know,
I think
me
they're so
too.
fun. You learn so much about people.
Yeah. Yeah.
when you do
So
'em.
I have a really fun idea for our Fuck, Marry, Kill.
Oh, okay. All right.
I think it's fun,
Okay.
at any rate. But first and foremost, did you know that they're making a new Charlie's Angels?
Yes. Yes. Because I heard who's doing like the theme song.
Yeah.
And it's Miley Cyrus, Lana Del Rey, and
Ariana Grande.
Yep.
I have to say, I'm sick of this.
The
I
remakes.
am sick of this. I don't care how
Charlie's
cool it's going
Angels
to be.
isn't that old.
It's been remade
70s.
so many times.
Well,
the
then-
original TV show was in the 70s. We
Right.
had a new reboot in the 90s.
Which
there
I
was
loved.
a TV
I loved
show.
that. That's my Fuck, Marry, Kill.
There was a very short lived ABC TV show. Again, that happened after I moved to LA.
I literally don't remember
just
that.
like, because they dumped a shit ton of money into it, and then it lasted like 3 or 4 episodes.
Yikes.
But I'm just like, do we not have an original idea?
No.
No.
But look at it. James
For
Bond has been
anything.
around in how many iterations?
I get it.
I'm here for it. I'm excited. I love Charlie's Angels. I love the franchise of it. I think it's fun. I love the idea of kick-ass ladies. And James Bond's been doing it forever. And every version of person has been James Bond, and we've been doing it forever. I love James Bond.
I want to hear what they're going to try to do with those 3 women singing.
I watched the trailer.
Sorry, what?
The song.
Oh, yeah.
I want to hear the song.
I think that it's on the actual trailer.
I think it is too.
Really?
Yeah.
And it sounded pretty good.
Oh.
Yeah. Trailer's good. But my Fuck, Marry, Kill is the 90s version. That's
So,
my favorite. I love
Lucy Liu, Cameron Diaz, Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
Oh, and do their characters from Charlie's Angels?
Yeah.
Like,
Where's
'cause
those
I
3?
loved that. I loved the 90s. The first one from
I
the
did
90s.
too.
Yeah.
I did too.
I think there were 3 of the movies, and they got progressively like worse as usual. But like the first one was
The first one was
good.
so good.
Yeah.
And who was it? Was it Bill Murray? I think it was at
Yeah.
first it was Bill Murray, and then for the next 2 movies they got Bernie Mac. I think
Yes,
that's
yes.
right.
That's
right.
Yes.
That's right. Yeah.
Well, there's a female Bosley. It's Elizabeth Banks who
She's
actually
producing it or
yeah.
directing it?
I think she's directing it.
Okay.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
directing it.
I love her.
I do. I love her too. I mean, I don't know. I'll give it a shot. I can't help. I know we just talked about the live action version of Little Mermaid, but I can't help but roll my eyes
And I think
every time. Like, I'm just like, guys, for fuck's sake.
Patrick
Come on.
Stewart is Charlie, I think.
Patrick Stewart?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay.
Love him.
I can get
I
on
love
board.
him.
I can get
And
on
I
board.
love that there's a female Bosley. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll watch it because, like I said, I'm a sucker for shit like that.
I'll wait for it to come out on Netflix, but then I will watch it. Yes.
Well, I think I actually have my answer then for Fuck, Marry, Kill.
Okay.
Oh, do you? This is tough.
Yeah.
I think it's tough.
I think it's tough too.
because they're all bad.
They all bring different shit to the table.
Yeah.
I'm going to fuck Lucy Liu.
Okay. She hot.
Good
She's
choice.
Hot
Yep.
in that.
And in that movie, she was the hottest
Ooh,
one.
She's
I thought.
smoking hot.
Yeah.
I am going to.
Isn't she in like a pleather outfit at
Yeah,
some point, like a
yeah.
tight plastic?
Yeah, she does that like whole teacher
With a
thing
whip.
with the
Yes,
whip.
yes.
thing.
Oh my God,
Yes,
that's right.
yes.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Okay.
She
Yeah.
hot.
She hot. I'm gonna marry Cameron Diaz's character. She's very sweet, silly, and goofy, and I think that would be good for me.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna kill Drew Barrymore's character, and that was my least favorite one. So them's my answer. What do you think, ladies?
Wow. That's tough.
I think it's really tough. I think
know.
it's really tough.
because I was between Lucy Liu and Cameron Diaz for fucking.
That's funny because I'm between Lucy Liu and Drew Barrymore for fucking, because Drew Barrymore was wild. Like she was
Yeah.
like the crazy one,
Yeah.
right? Like, and I'm like, so she's probably
That's
fun.
who I was going to marry. I love Drew Barrymore.
Okay, I think I've got mine.
Okay.
I am going to fuck Drew Barrymore because I feel like she would do some wild shit.
Uh-huh.
Like,
Yeah.
and it would be fun.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm gonna marry Lucy Liu.
Okay.
I'm gonna marry Lucy Liu, and I'm gonna.
Wasn't she with Matt LeBlanc in the movie? Or
I think
whatever?
she was.
And he was,
Oh my God.
he was like that actor or
Yes,
something.
yes. And then, yeah, Cameron Diaz like fucked Luke
Wilson.
Yeah,
Oh,
in
God.
that. That's right. And yeah, I think I'm gonna kill Cameron Diaz. Not for any, not because she did anything. Just
Yeah.
it's
one out.
a hard choice.
Yeah.
It's a
Yeah,
hard
yeah.
choice to have to make.
I'm going to marry Drew Barrymore. Love her. Love her character. Love that. Just love Drew Barrymore.
Mm-hmm.
Top to bottom. I think I'm going to fuck Lucy Liu.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's so fucking smoking hot.
Yeah,
And unfortunately,
yeah. I don't want to do it.
I don't want to do it. I want
Yeah.
a friend, but
Yeah.
Christina ruined it for us.
Yeah, we're no longer allowed to do that apparently.
Yeah.
You gotta abide by the seriousness
Yeah.
of the
Of this game.
Of this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Abide.
Especially,
Abide.
it's been a while since I've seen that movie, but I think Cameron Diaz got them in trouble because she fucked Luke Wilson, who ended up being the bad guy in that movie.
Yeah, see? There you go.
So yeah, that's how I'm justifying it.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
like,
I
look
forgot.
at you.
I forgot he was the bad guy. I thought it was Sam Rockwell.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, wait.
Oh, it's right. It was Sam Rockwell.
Oh,
And that was
shit.
Drew Barrymore.
Barrymore.
that fucked
That's
up.
right. That's right. It was Drew
you're
Barrymore.
right.
Oh my God, it's been
Luke
forever.
Wilson wasn't the bad guy.
No, he never is.
It
know, I was
was
like,
Sam
what?
Rockwell, and it was Drew Barrymore who fucked Sam Rockwell.
Wait, your
Shit.
dude was in that show too. I always remember him from
Crispin.
that Crispin Glover. Yeah.
Yeah.
And again,
He's the
guys,
weirdest.
this movie
He is
came
the
out like
weirdest.
so many years ago.
So many.
So if we're ruining it for you,
Spoilers.
sorry about you. Like,
Spoiler alert.
To the old Charlie's Angels that came out in like 98.
right? Exactly.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Oh man.
that's funny. Yeah, good one. That was a good one.
Yeah, that was good.
Mm-hmm.
I just remember that scene with the Prodigy song in it.
Yeah.
Do you remember that Prodigy? You can't release that song today, but it was only like, what, 10 years
Slap my
ago?
bitch up.
Smack my
bitch up. Yeah.
Yes.
Smack my bitch up.
Can't do
Can't
that
do
song
that now.
now.
Yeah.
Nope.
But you know what? Do you remember that video? Like they wouldn't show that video until after midnight on MTV. And it's all because like she is literally going around like smacking bitches up. But it does turn out it's a woman at the end.
Oh.
Flip the
You guys
script.
don't- yeah, right?
Yeah.
What do you think? Like the whole video, it's a guy being a dick. and-
How edgy.
yeah.
I
It's a
miss
woman.
music videos.
Me too.
I really miss like VH1 and MTV.
Yeah, I do too.
Nostalgic.
Yeah.
I miss real world.
Oh, you know they brought it. You know they brought it back on Facebook, right? They brought it back on Facebook, like Facebook TV or whatever.
Yeah, I ain't gonna be
There's a
watching that.
new Real World.
I'm gonna be Facebook TV in.
Yeah, they're trying to make it a thing. I feel like
It's not a
Mean
thing.
Girls, where you're like,
Yeah.
stop trying to make it a thing. It's never going to be a thing.
Dude,
Yeah.
Facebook is
trying
trying
to fetch
so
a thing.
hard to do all the things.
Facebook
so that
is
you
fetch.
never
Yes.
ever leave Facebook. They're like, you can watch TV on us. You can send money through us.
Well,
Like,
I
you
mean,
can-
I
you
would
can live here.
You can live here.
Apple's
You
doing the
never
same
have to
thing.
leave.
You know, I know I've probably mentioned it on every platform I've done anything on recently, but like that podcast Sleepwalkers, where they're talking about AI and how all of it is designed for you to not leave. Like the people who worked on these programs are people who like went to school for suggestion, like
Yeah.
to, you know, make it as addictive as possible, as alluring as possible so that you never leave. You don't
made
get off of it
You
ever.
made me think I saw something this and so I think they posted it at the My Worst Date group, which by the way is like so active. It's so
Yes,
much
if you
fucking
haven't joined
fun.
the My Worst Date Facebook group, now is the time
No,
because
it
people
is
are
blowing up.
so active in there. It's awesome.
But somebody posted something and I just fucking loved it. Somebody's like friend made a Twitter bot and like put in all these like things to teach it, like going through like dating books and that sort of thing. So then like her job was like to interact with it on Twitter, like to get it to come
Learn how to be a
engage.
real
So,
boy.
Yeah, learn how to be a real boy. And it eventually like asked her for nudes.
Yes, of course.
Which,
No
which she was like,
way.
she was like, no, and then he's like, oh, okay, I see that you have a boundary, so was like totally cool with it. And then later on in the conversation was like, our love is like reverence or whatever. And she's like, excuse me while I go fall in love
I think
with
I
this
just
Twitter bot.
it just like heard her.
He's
It's like that movie Her. Yeah.
exactly, our
Um,
love is like reverence. I was like, oh my
Well,
god.
but you know what? Okay. So that gives you faith in like AI, and you know, but I just did an episode talking about like YouTube's algorithm for my other podcast, talking about like YouTube, and whenever I was doing research for that, Microsoft put out a thing on Twitter where they had a new AI program where they were like, we want you to essentially teach our AI how to be a real boy. Like, so we want you to engage it in playful conversation.
Nope.
Like, it
don't
took
don't
less-
let motherfuckers
less
touch
than
the robot.
I don't remember the entire tweet, but it was less than 24 hours. So after this thing went out into the wild,
Oy vey.
less than 24 hours, it came back and it said, Bush did 9/11, Hitler did nothing wrong, and would have done better than Obama, and Trump is our only hope. It came less than 24 hours later.
No.
It turned it into a
Not
Nazi.
let people touch the fucking robots.
Like that's
ever.
It should tell you how scary the internet is, though. I mean, like those are the
my
people. Like that's how people get radicalized on the internet. That's how fast this AI program was. Like, oh, this is what people do here.
Yeah.
got it.
Got it.
Oh God.
There
I am
was
so concerned.
There was a company, and I think it started in Pennsylvania. They were like, we're going to send this drone robot all across the United States. And it's like this cute little like Wall-E looking motherfucker. And it didn't even make it 3 blocks through fucking Philly before it was trashed.
No, you can't trust people.
You cannot trust people.
People are the fucking worst.
We want to burn it down.
Humanity is doomed. So I mean, like, that one's so cute. Our love is reverence is like, oh,
our love is like reverence. I'm like, I love you. But
Be right back.
But yeah, I think the only reason why it was still like a
it only
decent
interacted
person,
with
it only
her.
interacted with her.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
it wasn't interacting with the general populace.
You cannot allow it. I'm like, Microsoft.
No.
Twitter. You can't release something on Twitter and expect people to act decently.
Look what happens when they do any of those contests to name things on the internet. That's why there's like a commissioned boat in like the UK or something called like Boaty McBoatface.
Yes.
Human beings are doomed. Truly, like, honestly, we should just
of course I like laughed at. I was like,
I love that.
That's
I think that's hilarious. But I mean, at this point, we should just let the robots take over. Like, seriously, you're gonna do a better job. Just wipe this planet clean.
Would you date Our Love Is Like Reverence? I'm like, he did. He was male, so he did ask for nudes. But then when turned down, he was polite about it. He's like, I see that you have boundaries.
He is a nice guy.
He's a nice guy.
He's an actual nice guy, not a hashtag nice guy.
Exactly.
TM.
Yeah.
TM.
You know.
But I'm like, I'd be interested. I think I would consider dating a robot.
You got
in
her
the
thing
future.
going. Yeah.
I don't think I would turn someone down just because they were a robot. I think I would actually be intrigued.
You don't discriminate?
I do not discriminate.
Replicants.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'd be down.
You're like, I'm here for the replicant.
Listen, gentlemen, step up your shit, because at this point,
You're like, I don't want babies anyway. Fuck.
Exactly.
yeah, I mean, like, what are you really? You've got VR for all the sexy time.
Yeah.
So.
And if he's gonna say
He
like
treats you
poetic
nice.
fucking shit like that, come on, that's
The only thing is,
wonderful.
like, you don't have a warm body, though.
Yeah.
Like, when you miss
we're gonna
that,
have to do the neck. Well, yeah, I mean,
Can you make a robot heated?
well, I mean, I think you can
could.
get. I mean, they're making like really realistic
sex dolls
now,
Ooh, yeah.
and it's
that are,
only
like,
a matter
warm.
of time before they're realistic sex dolls that have AI in them,
Yeah.
which is scary. Actually,
I'm shocked that they don't already exist.
I think they do.
bet
They probably
actually
do.
Yeah.
They probably do.
I thought that we saw an article about that. Didn't we talk about this before?
Well, I know that very realistic sex dolls exist. I just don't know if they have AI in them that
I thought
allows
they
them
could
to
communicate
like
with you
But
now.
communicating and like learning are different. You know, like
yeah,
I don't know
true.
if they have algorithms in them that allow them to like learn new behaviors,
Wow.
which is scary.
I
Actually,
feel like we're
I
off
don't know.
the rails here, guys. I am nervous.
Yeah. Well, here's my thing. If I was a guy and I had like a super realistic sex doll that I spent so much money on, for me, like, okay, this is going to get trigger warning. This might get a little bit gross, but sometimes like if you're like having sexy time with yourself, it's kind of nice that you're a woman because it's like
Not
you can
messy.
it's not messy.
Yeah.
When I'm done, I'm done.
Yeah.
I can be like,
who's
go
cleaning out
about
that
my
sex
day.
doll?
Who is cleaning it out?
Like, are you going in there and doing maintenance on your sex doll, Kevin? Yeah, like, I don't believe it. You know, most of these dudes can't keep their rooms clean, and you expect me to think that you're going in there and like dumping out the like bucket that's on the inside. Really?
And how do you? Do you go up there with some like Clorox
You use
wet
that,
wipes?
like you use the little scrubber that you do for glasses.
Oh no.
Oh.
I'm just saying, I bet it smells.
Oh.
I mean,
it
it's
smells.
only a matter of time, unless you have somebody who's very diligent about like making sure that shit is clean. But then doesn't that?
After sexy time, does that ruin it?
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
I
say.
feel
Like,
like it
wouldn't
does.
that like make
You had to clean it?
If you had to clean it and you're talking about taking one of those things for the glasses and getting up in there,
Oy
it's
vey.
going to make, I feel like that imprints upon your soul. Do you know what I mean?
Well, you can no
There's-
longer.
The
I feel like
fantasy is
the
over.
fantasy is ruined. Like, you can't trick yourself into believing that
Over.
it's real. And then what happens whenever it is like there is AI there, and so it's also absorbing the information of like you cleaning it out. Like, what does that do to it? I don't know. these are the questions we need answered.
We have so many questions.
We really did go off the rails.
But
this morning,
we
didn't
should be scared.
Yikes.
Yeah.
We should be scared for the future.
We're talking about Little Mermaid and sex dolls. What's wrong with us?
We took a turn. Whoa.
Oh my gosh, we need to talk about new patrons.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes, we do.
Yes.
Okay, so we have 3 new patrons to talk about today.
Which, by the way, if you want to join our Patreon, we get special content and everything. You can go to myworstdatepodcast.com to sign up.
Okay, so we would like to give a big thank you to Kristen Smith, who I think is also in our Facebook group.
I think so too, yeah.
Yeah. So Kristen, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you to Jessica Shore for joining our Patreon family, as well as Johnny Warren. I always love it when guys engage.
I know.
Me too.
On our Facebook or in our Patreon. We are so excited to have you guys as patrons. Thank you so much. It means so much to us. I can say that, like, at least for me, I am still genuinely surprised every time I
know.
Every time I like open our email and I'm like, we got a new patron. Like, I feel so like,
And just like every day, like approving more people to come into the group and
Yeah.
everything.
Yes.
It just like makes my day. I'm like, someone else thinks we're funny.
yeah, I know,
And wants to hang out with us.
out with our awesome group. Like, the Facebook group is
It's bananas.
It gives me life.
it
honestly.
lights up my life.
Yeah.
It does. So thank you guys so much. We really, really appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, on that note, guys, you want to take 5 and we'll come back with stories?
Yeah.
Yes. And we're back. Hey.
Hey, so
You got the first story this week?
I do because I got the crazy in love. Okay, this one comes from our favorite, our prolific Michelle. I'm like, I just want to hold her in my arms. I'm like, sweetheart,
Like a little
You've
baby.
been through so much.
you've been through so much trauma.
I feel like we're sharing your book.
I know. Well, she even says, she's like, the subject line is story number 159. I'm like, oh no.
Dear diary.
Dear diary. She says, so the Frito Feet episode story about the girl finding out the guy was engaged story kind of hit home with me.
Uh-oh.
I have an experience like that, but worse.
Oh, shit.
Oh, no.
Oh,
I
shit.
know. I'm
What's
like,
worse than the Frito feet?
The one where she chews her own toenails.
Oh,
That
God.
one. Ugh.
So as we all know, I'm in the military and I actually dated one of my company commanders from boot camp.
Ooh.
Guys in charge yelling at us and whatnot, sort of like a drill sergeant. Yeah, no, and that's kind of hot.
Yeah, it's hot.
I'm like, I'll read that story.
Yeah.
I did not date him during boot camp, by the way. It was almost a year after when I met him again. My niece went through boot camp and I went there for her graduation and happened to bump into him. I told him he owed me a beer because he was always teasing me about him going home and having a beer, and I had to drink the tap water. I was the second oldest in boot camp, so all the instructors liked to mess with me because I could take it and usually gave it back to them. Hell yeah.
Yeah, girl.
Yeah. So I had a friend who got stationed there as well, and so I ended up staying with her when my niece went back home. Me and the friend met up with, I'm not going to shout out his name, but she says his name. We'll call him Boot Camp. Me and the friend met up with Boot Camp at one of the local bars. My friend got tired and went home, and I stayed there with Boot Camp. One drink led to a few too many, and we went back to my hotel. Ooh,
Hotel. Holiday
hotel
Inn.
sex.
Say what?
I haven't had a hotel sex in a while. That's the funnest. You're in a disrespect
New place.
that
Yes,
room.
I always think about that Tom Segura.
Like a rental car.
I always think about that Tom Segura.
exactly like a rental car.
stand up where that's
Write
what he
it like
says.
it's
He's like,
rented.
we're gonna have sex in here, but we're also going to disrespect this room.
Exactly.
Like, 'cause it's not ours.
It's not
Doesn't
ours. I
matter
don't
what
care.
happens in here.
Oh,
don't
God.
care. I don't care.
As
Yeah.
somebody who stays in hotels a lot, I'm
Oh, it's
Sorry.
disgusting.
Yeah.
I've been in several hotels
Deeply
recently,
disturbed.
and I always think about that. I'm like, gross things have happened
People
in here.
have done
They're
crazy
animals.
stuff. Yeah,
People are
they're like
animals.
clipping their toenails in bed and doing all kinds of crazy
Oh,
shit.
God.
Yeah. Okay, so one drink led to a few too many. We went back to my hotel, and so our quote unquote relationship began. Ladies, having sex with an authoritative figure with just one of those CC hats, that's a Google Mountie hat, and it's like that, is so hot. Girl, I am with you.
Yeah.
I'm I'm like,
he went
is
to take
like
the hat off and she's
drill
like,
sergeant
no,
in bed?
leave it on.
Leave it on. You can leave your hat on. I lived 8 hours away, so we would meet up once or twice a month. Eventually, we went separate ways because he got stationed to Hawaii and I was in North Carolina. A year or so later, we happened to meet back up when he was in Virginia. Things picked up where we left off. I got stationed in Florida not long after. We started talking about trying to get stationed nearby each other and getting married and having kids.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my
girl.
God.
Damn. That's good sex.
It is.
Apparently.
That is good sex.
That is. Dude.
She got dickmatized.
Yeah, she did. So now I've never really wanted kids, but with this guy, I was willing to. I was that hard up for him.
Oh, dear.
Oh,
I don't know
damn.
that there's anybody that if I didn't want it.
No.
I don't know either, but I do know, like, I mean, I'm a daydreamer or whatever. I've had a couple good dates with somebody. Maybe you start like daydreaming, like, what would life be like?
What would our kids
what would
look
the-
like?
You know?
Yeah.
But-
I think your body automatically.
Yeah, your body
starts to,
wants,
like,
especially if the dick is good.
yeah.
If
You're
your
like,
dick
for
that-
you, I would.
For you, I will. Oh my God, I'm in a singing mood today. So to shorten the story, I had been wanting to fly to Hawaii and visit him, but he said he couldn't afford the ticket. I offered to pay half, but he still didn't really seem to be keen on me
You
coming.
can't afford the ticket. You can't afford to be having kids.
Yeah, no
Listen,
shit.
you need to nip that shit in the bud right now. Kids are expensive.
Not long after this, some girl posted an ultrasound picture on his
No.
Facebook page.
No.
I'm like, what the fuck? Turns out, girls, please sit down. We're sitting. It was his pregnant wife who was living with him.
Oh, God.
That's
It reminds me of
such
that story
a
that
betrayal.
I posted on Facebook where she's just like, I found out today that my boyfriend of 2 years just got married.
Yes.
So congratulations to the new couple.
Yeah.
Like,
Surprise.
what the fuck?
The fuck?
And then she posted the conversation she had with him.
No, she did. What was it?
She did.
She
Like,
did.
She
It was so
texting
Well-
him and she's like, why'd you pick me to fuck over?
Why'd you pick me to fuck over?
I hope-
so
And he was like,
heartbreaking.
it's complicated.
Bitch. No, it's not.
It's not.
It's not.
You knew you were, as
not.
someone who's planning a wedding right now, I'm like, there is so much that goes into like planning a wedding. You know, you're doing it for a
Right.
certain amount of time. You didn't think maybe I should break it off with my side piece
right.
before I get married and all of my
Social
wedding pics get
media?
posted on social
Yeah.
media?
Wow.
It's not complicated.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like,
Also, like, yes, we're looking at your social media.
Hi.
of
Hi.
course.
Hi. Why is that a surprise? B, why is it considered like shameful or dirty or whatever?
No,
And
I'm sorry,
just
it's a
like,
public
I'm so
forum.
sorry.
That is a
Like,
public
I'm
forum.
going to see
Also,
if
I
I'm
assume
going
you're
out
friends
with
on Facebook at this point.
Yeah. Oh, dude, no. I have gone on dates with people where I'm like, I haven't gotten to like a Facebook friendship
Sure.
or an Instagram. I've gotten a couple Instagram follows, but beyond that, it's like,
Yeah,
it's this
I don't
weird
even
thing
know
where
if
it's
you
like
need to be friends with
linking up
someone.
social media is like a step for
And,
sure.
Yeah, I don't think it's shameful at all. I don't even think you need to be friends on social media. It's a public platform, and it's just the way that the world operates right now. Just assume
Yeah.
I am going to find you on
Right.
social media, and if it's public and you don't have that shit on lockdown, like
Right.
you don't have that shit on
Right.
private, then just assume that I'm seeing all your shit.
And all my friends are, and we're judging it.
And it shouldn't
Yeah.
be something that we
Shouldn't
should
be
feel
surprised
bad
you're
about.
having a baby because
Yeah.
you were married.
Yeah. Oh my God. So she says, I was shattered. I called him and told him, thank you for the recent dick pic, and asked if he sent the same one to his wife.
Ooh, yes.
Busted. He tried to play it off like they were separated and some
Bullshit.
shit. Nah, bro, you were just a piece of shit. Later on, I found out that he got in trouble for adultery, legal in real life, punishable under military law.
That's right.
For cheating on his wife with a girl that he worked with.
Ooh.
The same time he was talking to me. Both him and the other girl got in major trouble, and his wife divorced him and moved to another state.
Good for her.
Shit.
I was thankful that I wasn't known about because I could have gotten in trouble too.
Well, you
But
didn't
she
know he
didn't
was-
know.
She didn't know. Exactly. Douchebag is still in, but he better not cross my path because I might cut a bitch. Haha, kidding, sort of.
Sort of.
That's honestly like the worst.
It's
And also
horrible.
like those kind of people that can lead those kind of separate lives, which we're all listening to Live and Die in LA, which is an incredible fucking podcast.
It is very good.
I am just stunned by the levels upon levels of compartmentalization and lies that you have to tell to yourself to lead that kind of double life.
Yeah.
And not want to kill yourself or like, you know what I mean? That amount of stress.
I mean,
it's hard enough for me to live my single life,
right?
Let alone like a
I
double
think
or
some
triple
people
version
are
of it.
really, really good at turning that part off. Like, you know, I'm only focusing on what's in front of me right now, and I can turn off that other shit and deal with it later.
Oh, that
like, some
tells
people,
you like, oh, you're hurting someone that you're caring
yeah, you
about.
just some people can turn it off.
Wow.
What?
I think, you know,
It's terrible.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. So this is an email that we got, and the subject line is "My worst breakup." Okay.
Ooh.
This is a my worst breakup story. I don't know if it's entertaining enough to make the podcast, but but it was kind of therapeutic to write it out.
Oh,
Good.
Yay. Good.
I love that.
Cathartic.
Good.
Unfortunately, this isn't a funny story, but it's definitely one of my worst dating stories. Feel free to use names.
Oh,
Warning.
great.
If playing the red flag drinking game, please drink responsibly.
Oh, shit. Here we go. Buckled in.
I met my ex, Adam, in a dive bar. Drink.
Uh-oh. There we go. Cheers.
Yep.
He was on vacation from Minnesota. We hit it off, and we basically spent his whole trip together. Before he left, we made plans for me to fly to Minnesota to see him. I'm a flight attendant, so a long-distance fling wasn't really a big deal for me.
I love it.
There you go. Okay.
Eventually, things progressed, and I would try to spend most of my free time with him. This went on for ... 8 months.
Ooh, that's
a long time.
That's a long
Like,
time.
yeah.
That's a long time.
Here are some fun facts about Adam.
Oh, okay.
He
Here we go.
usually stayed up until 3 to 4 a.m. He wouldn't wake up till
That's a
afternoon.
flag.
This
I
sounds
don't-
like someone I've dated. It really does.
I don't like that at all.
No, these are red flags. Like, what kind
Yeah.
of grown-up life can you possibly be living if you're up until 4 and you don't get up until noon?
No, I don't
Like,
like that.
Normal human. I have so much to do in my day. I would
Right.
get nothing done.
No.
At all.
I'm a night owl. It is my natural like
I like being up at
circadian
night.
rhythm to be up at night, but that means like midnight or even
Yeah.
1.
Right.
Is,
Well,
but because I'm still up
My
at
son
6:30.
works a late shift, so for him, that is his schedule is exactly like this, where he
Yeah.
stays up till like 3 o'clock,
If
4
it's
o'clock in
his
the morning.
work
But
schedule, that's
and
different.
he has to stay on. He tries to stay on that schedule. So even during like days he's not working,
Right.
he tries to stay on that.
And
regular
that would be
schedule.
the only way that this
Yeah.
would be
acceptable.
acceptable. Is like if that is
Meth
your
is not.
work schedule.
Meth is not acceptable.
Correct. He worked. See, okay. So here's the thing. I assume your son is going to a job, right? Where that's like his work schedule. He's
Yeah.
going somewhere.
Yeah, Amazon.
This guy worked from home technically. So usually he would work from a bar or a bar at a restaurant. All of the bartenders knew his name / drink orders. So that's different. Like you're
Yeah.
working from home. You're taking your work to a bar and staying up until 4
I
a.m.
don't know how you could work in a bar. I can't even work in
I
a fucking
could
office
not.
without like headphones. And
Yeah.
I need to be like surrounded by quiet. Like,
And
I
also,
can't
what
be-
are you doing that you're able to like if you're
Work
in a,
inebriated. I
Yeah.
mean, he's not like building a rocket. To
Right.
be honest,
God.
you
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
Thank
yeah.
God. Let's hope not.
he picked me up all of 2 times from the airport. That's a red flag for me.
Like 8 months.
8 months,
Yeah.
he's not dragging his ass. You're coming to him in Minnesota and he's not coming to pick you up at the airport? No. Okay. He was always late on his work deadlines. He
Shocker.
never really ate.
Kills
I
the
would
priest.
have to beg for us to go eat. I dated someone like this.
Oh no,
That's the worst.
It's the
Yeah.
worst. It's
Yeah.
the worst.
It's like babysitting. Like fuck.
Well, and it's also just like
I don't want to date
he's
a
not
toddler.
he's not in any of this. What's very clear to me is just like he is not predicting her needs at all.
he doesn't give a fuck
He doesn't
about
give a
her
fuck about
needs.
her needs, like
At
picking
all.
her up from the airport, feeding her, anything that could make her life any easier at all.
Look,
I've got this new like mantra. Like I'm out here in the dating world. There's a couple people that I'm talking to, and I've been talking to handyman and stuff like that. And I'm like, look, I don't need someone to like chase me, but like fucking meet me. Fucking show up.
Right.
Show up. Because I don't need to be
Meet
the
me
one
halfway,
initiating every conversation. I don't need to be the one making all the plans.
Right.
And vice versa. But like there's got to be this like quid pro quo or like give and take where it's like show me that you give even the slightest fuck about
I just
this.
always think it's weird. Anytime anyone like comes over to my house or like we're out, I'm like, oh, have you eaten? Are you hungry?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Heaven forbid.
yeah. And that's not even just like, that's not people I'm dating. That's just like people I'm hanging out with.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
I just don't understand that mentality of just because you don't need to eat, you're not thinking like maybe somebody else does.
It's so
like
selfish.
it's weird to me. It's very foreign to me. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. He talked a lot of talk, but never walked the walk when it came to any sort of planning. After dating exclusively for a while, he never called me his girlfriend, and once during our unrelationship, introduced me to someone as his friend.
Oh, wow.
I am flying to you to hang out with you for 8
8
months.
That's a red fucking flag right
And
there.
you introduced
really
me to
is.
someone as your friend? Oh my God. I'd get back on that plane and go home. Like,
Yeah,
what the fuck?
bye.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm assuming you're a Delta girl, so I've probably run into you in real life.
True.
Since you were flying to
You were sitting
Minnesota.
next to her on a plane.
I'm going to hug you if I see you.
Once I went out to see him, and when I got to his neighborhood via the metro, he was unreachable for a few hours. I had to go to one of the bars he, quote, worked from and try to kill time / plot his death.
Oh, yeah, girl.
Yeah.
Till he surfaced back into the world. When he finally responded to a million angry texts and calls, he told me he fell asleep. Fell asleep?
No. In another girl's vagine.
Oh,
I'm calling it.
yeah.
I believe I told him, I can forgive you this time, but this will never happen again. Cut to the end. I landed in Minnesota after probably taking 2 flights on my days off. Oof. So she wasn't even like already flying there. She flew on her days off, which if you were a flight attendant, I can imagine like probably the last thing you want to
Does a mailman take a walk on his day off?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
come on. And not even in a real passenger seat. So it was on her day off, and she sat in the back with the crew to go to Minnesota to see him. I sent the usual text. I landed, getting off the plane, walking to the metro, hope everything is okay. Are we drunk yet? She says.
Yeah, I'm pretty tipsy.
I get all the way to his neighborhood and have gotten no response. P.S. This is around September in Minnesota, so it's already pretty cold.
Yeah.
I hop my ass off the train and head to a bar with my luggage to try and make an escape plan. I start frivolously looking at the next day's flights home, hotel rooms near the airport, and hitmen on Craigslist.
Yep.
After I realize I'm getting a little too drunk, I pay my tab and head to Adam's building. I don't have a key or a buzz code to get in. 8 months, you don't even have a buzz code to get in.
This guy is married.
But maybe I can piggyback on someone else going into the building. We have all done it.
Yep.
All of us have
Get
done
it. Get it. You know what? You can warm yourself in September in Missouri. You can start a fire.
Minnesota, but yes.
Minnesota,
yes,
yeah.
I mean, you can burn
that
that building to the ground. Except for there's probably innocence
there's
in there.
innocent
But it's getting dark and I'm freezing. I try calling him from the paging system in the entryway about 10 times and there is no answer. Finally, a resident lets me into the lobby with them and I make my way to his door. I knock on the door just like a police officer serving a warrant.
Oh, shit.
No answer. We all know exactly what that is. You're using the side of your fist.
Yeah. You're not
Side.
knuckle.
Yeah.
You're the meaty part of your palm.
Yep.
I'm about to leave, but I think maybe, just maybe, the door is unlocked. Lo and behold, I open the door, walk in, and he is asleep on the couch.
Jesus. Oh, okay.
That's a
So he
hell
really
asleep.
is.
He's asleep. But
That's
like,
a hell of sleep.
you slept through all the phone calls, knocking on the door. And also, it is just so fucking disrespectful if you know somebody is coming.
It's
Right.
the level of just not giving a fuck is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Because you're looking at somebody that is putting in a 110% of the effort to go on her day off, plan a
0%
fucking
effort.
flight, and then to have somebody say your effort is not worth
me
Even
waking
being
up,
awake for
me
it.
being awake for it.
And
Yeah.
it's so the lack of
wild.
empathy and caring, and that's just heartbreaking.
Yeah.
It makes me want to break his fucking legs.
I want her to listen to that narcissist episode.
Exactly. No, I'm stoked. That is exactly what that is.
Listen
It's
to it
narcissism.
and then we'll talk about it on the podcast. We'll shout it out. She says, I think I froze in shock and anger, but once I came to, I went to the sink, filled up a cup with water, and threw it right in his face. All caps.
Girl.
He didn't wake up.
Wait, is he dead?
Jesus.
This feels like drugs or something to me.
Oh,
Like I don't
100%.
see
Right.
how.
Yeah, that's 100% drugs.
I think I screamed, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And at that point, he stirred. The worst part is, I barely got an "I'm sorry" out of him. Can you
Nope.
fucking imagine?
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
It is September in Minnesota. It's
Yeah.
fucking cold. I flew on my day off. There is nothing worse than like
I hate all of this.
if you have flown and like you just want to like get somewhere and
Yeah.
get settled.
Yeah.
Like ugh.
I hate all of this.
All I wanted was for him to beg and grovel and plead for my forgiveness. I wanted him to offer me his keys. I wanted tears, but I got nothing. I don't know why I stayed the night there, but I did. Fully clothed, of course, and only after chugging a bottle of wine I had left there. The next morning, he went to work without even saying a word to me.
Fucking asshole.
I
Oh my
took
God.
myself back to the airport. That is...
I'm infuriated.
He didn't like people like this blow my mind. Like I wouldn't treat I wouldn't treat anyone that way.
I wouldn't treat a fucking stranger that way.
Right.
Like,
Like-
honestly, I really would not treat a fucking stranger that way.
And
Because you're right.
again-
I'd be like, you offer someone food, drink, someone.
You're hospitable.
Yeah.
Right.
And you think
If
of
you,
others.
if you don't want her to come, then fucking
tell her that.
man the fuck up and say
Right.
like, don't fucking come,
but it
or
was-
I don't want to do this.
It
or
was complete
whatever. I don't
indifference,
care
which
about-
is worse. Like
there's
it's worse
nothing
than like
worse than
outright.
apathy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Indifference is worse than like outright animosity. Like
Right.
it's just
Shit.
like he doesn't even care. He's not even thinking about you at
Yeah.
all.
At
Clearly.
all.
At all.
At all.
I tried, and this, my heart is breaking for her because I'm like,
I feel this
you
story
should've-
so
you
hard.
should've-
I feel
yeah.
like I've definitely been in situations
We
where
have all
been there.
dated the
This
fucking
person.
apathetic
Yes.
person
Yeah.
where we try to make up for their lack of effort
Right.
with more effort on our part, and then it just hurts even more when it's not reciprocated.
Yeah.
And this hurts me too because she says I tried to be a friend after we ended things, which is just like God. That
didn't
just
even
it
deserve
just
you.
shows
No.
how
In
much
any
like
way.
you are thinking about him and his feelings
Yeah.
in a way that like he's not thinking about you and yours at all.
Yeah.
She says, but it only took me so long to ask myself why. Fast forward past a few other bad dates and mistakes, and I am currently head over heels, all, head capital H over capital O, heels capital H,
Yes.
with a man who I am cohabitating with. We connected on Hinge because you eventually give up and run through all the apps.
Yep.
After I was swiping and realized I recognized him from real life. We just got back from our first vacation together. I've never been happier.
Oh,
Happy ending. Yes.
This podcast has become one of my favorite pastimes. I love laughing with you all. Till next time, cheers.
Oh, thank you. Oh my God. Oh,
so
I love a happy
good.
ending.
That
Yeah,
is
me
so
too.
good.
Yeah.
That's a great story.
Thanks so much for writing in.
Yeah.
I got a banger for you guys. This is a
Oh,
good one.
shit.
So the subject is ear oral.
Oh, no.
Ear oral.
I remember this being a trend whenever I was in high school. Like when
Of
people would talk.
sucking on ears.
Okay. All right. Sorry. I'll let you
Okay.
tell the story.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right. She says, hey, I just want to start off by saying I've been listening to you guys from the beginning, and coincidentally, it started around my breakup. You guys have helped me through my rough dating life. Oh, thank
I'm
you.
going to tear up.
Oh my God, you really are.
I know. No, it just makes me so happy. You know, like I've said it before that like it's been quite a transition and stuff, and starting this podcast has been so healing for me, and then to just hear that like it's good for other people too just makes me super happy.
That anybody else is getting something out of it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I agree.
Welcome to the family.
Yay. She says, unfortunately, this story was my first experience dating after my breakup. My relationship was not a good one. I was very controlled. So once I'd freed myself, I went through a phase of being too free.
No,
Get it?
girl,
Feel you.
get it. Get
That
it, get it,
pendulum
get it.
swings the other way.
Oh yeah. I actually have. I had that too, where you just like become super fucking obstinate. And you're like, no, I do what I want.
Yes.
I'm the
Yes.
captain now.
Yes.
Yes. You're like a cat just pushing shit off a shelf.
Yes.
And you're like, I do what I want.
I
I do what I want.
I do what I want.
So she says, too free. I found a guy on Instagram and just went for him. He seemed very nice and we quickly decided to meet for a drink. It's the night of and I'm feeling great to get out again. I've got all the usual nerves and excitement. It didn't take long for that to go away though. We happen to show up at the bar at the exact same time and we make eye contact. He winks. He winks before even speaking to me. I'm already turned off.
I don't like a wink either.
She
No,
was like, no. She's like, I'm already turned off.
No
and it
winks.
was not a smooth wink. It was creepy. I tried to put
See, okay, because that's where it is. Because I've seen a wink before
Yeah,
where
you're
I'm
like,
like,
oh,
okay.
Yeah.
But you
But I've seen
have to
winks that
be
are not
you have
okay.
to be smooth. If it's one of those where it's like a full on like
no.
no, or
No.
if there's some people who can't wink and then like their other
That's
eye
me.
kind of goes
just a
to.
blink.
That's me.
a
That's
double
me.
blink.
That's me.
Have you ever seen like compilation of videos of Rihanna trying to wink?
No.
And she does that too.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
It's cute because it's her.
Yeah.
But like every time she tries to wink, it's like both eyes kind of go.
Oh no. Oh no. I've never seen that. That's so funny. She goes, it was kind of creepy. I try to push it aside and continue in. I'm pretty shy at first, and I have a tendency to just laugh a lot when I meet people.
Is this you, Christina?
That's so you, Christina.
I wrote in. I'm glad you guys
it's
are
you.
telling me.
Got
that nice story.
he was struggling to come up with things to say, so he just kept winking at me.
No. Oh no.
No.
At that point, I'm like, "Are you okay? Is this a tick?"
I don't think. Oh God, I can't even say. Oh shit. I don't think I've ever been more uncomfortable, which makes me awkwardly laugh more.
Yep.
I was so desperate for this to work out, so I agreed to go to the next bar with him. He chooses to sit next to me instead of across from me at the bar, which I'm thankful for because I couldn't handle looking at someone continuously winking at me.
At least it was
Yeah.
at the bar, and it wasn't like he's in a booth.
I don't.
Side by side in a booth.
Yeah, but if the option was to sit across, that makes me wonder if it was a booth because that does sound boothy. I mean,
or
at
maybe
a bar, though.
it's like there are some bar areas that have like 2 top tables.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Maybe-
maybe that.
yeah.
Oh, that. Yeah,
Maybe that's what it was.
We're having a normal conversation now that I have alcohol in me. Things are getting better and I'm beginning to forget about the awkward start. Then to break the silence, he begins to meow at me. No.
What?
Take his limp hand up and down my arm while saying paw paw over and over. He is also making a weird snarl growl noises in my ear randomly too.
No.
All of my senses are offended.
I know. I'm like
Every sense.
sensory overload.
I can do nothing but laugh at the situation I'm in. It's now bar closed and he lives right next to the bar. So he invites me over to his house. Now I should have gone home
No,
after
girl,
how
you
weird
should've.
he was.
Dude, it's all good. We've all been there.
But I wanted to be a little ho-ho after my long relationship.
Sure.
Girl.
Get it, girl.
Get it.
Get
girl.
it.
Guys, I have to tell you though, like next time I just want to make you feel really awkward. I'm just gonna sidle up next to you and just meow.
No.
Like paw you
Paw,
gently.
paw. Paw. Oh no. I hate all this so much. This is gonna happen. Oh, I can't wait for Anthony to hear this. It's
Oh God. Oh God.
Oh, can we do this to him tonight? Like, just come up to him
Yes.
before he even hears the episode. He'll be like, "What the
Dude, the
fuck?"
number of people that I was just like, you know what? Like, I kind of need to get some. I
get it, girl.
I'm never, ever going to talk to this person again.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed they're competent in bed.
But
Throw something
come on.
against the wall
But-
and see if it sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she says, I figured I had dealt with so much weirdness already. It can't get worse.
It gets so much worse.
Always famous last words.
Yep. Now, we are in his room and he spends a good 30 plus minutes trying to find something on Netflix to put on, all while I'm awkwardly standing next to his bed since he is sprawled out.
30 minutes
yeah,
scrolling through Netflix.
Oh my God.
Once he finally finds some horror movie to put on, he just takes off his clothes and stares at me.
Wait,
No!
hold on.
He put on a horror movie.
Hold on. He's like, I got a chick back in my fucking room.
Yep. I meowed at her. This is working.
Meow. It works. So now I'm thinking it's sexy time. Time for sexy time.
I got this all
Come on
planned out.
Netflix.
Yep.
Okay.
We're gonna Netflix and chill.
Can't put on my hentai.
Cassie almost spit out her LaCroix.
Okay. Office is just too lighthearted.
Yeah. Don't
First
be
of all,
laughing during
why are
sex.
you putting on Netflix
Anything.
at all?
We've
You
talked
don't
about
need
this.
anything.
Ambiance.
We've talked about this.
Nothing.
If you're
You
going to
don't
put
want
on
the lights on,
anything,
so you're
put
gonna
on music.
Put on
Like,
music.
What are you doing?
Put on fucking music. That and
Are you going to be watching it while
Put on
we're
the
fucking?
fireplace.
Like,
Put on that
and then the-
fireplace.
yeah,
the-
the Yule log.
the
Put
Yule
that
log.
on.
but a horror movie.
And then, is there anything scarier than putting on a horror movie and then just getting naked
Yep.
and standing? The light from picture it. The
I'm-
light from the TV screens glowing behind his naked body
Yeah,
as he
I'm
stands
pretty
in
much
front
sure
of you.
I'm gonna get murdered. Then at that
Yes.
point, I'm like,
Yeah.
this is how it ends. This is
Well,
how it
that's how I
ends.
leave. If I think I'm about to get murdered, you're naked. I'm
You're like,
not.
You're like,
Bye.
you're like, actually, I need to go freshen up in the bathroom really quickly, and then you just walk out.
with the fucking cloud behind you. It's like
Dust. Oh my god. So she says, I'm just hoping it's worth it at this point. Things start getting hot and heavy, and I notice he keeps sort of trying to push my face to the side while he is on top of me. I've never had this happen before, so
I don't
want
want to look at your face.
I'm a
Well,
bit
yeah.
confused, but I follow his lead. He begins making the weird gnarl growl noise in my ear again and starts going to town on my ear. The best way to describe it is like he's trying to eat my ear out, tongue punching my ear hole. Drool, drool dripping down my cheek, bro. I would be so ill. I would have puked everywhere. This
oh my god.
because we know how much I hate spit.
Oh god.
Oh,
And just hearing it, I have had
Squelching.
somebody that likes like ear stuff or whatever, and it's weird.
That's
I
too
don't like
much.
it.
That's
because
too
you're just
much.
hearing like
This is just a wet willy.
Somebody did that with my nose before.
No,
too.
whoa,
no,
whoa,
no.
Literally.
I don't like that.
No,
I don't like that.
No,
Get
And
the
I
fuck
don't
out of
like
there.
that.
and again, like listen,
literally
not
was like-
here to kink shame, but
Kissing and then just literally swallowed my nose.
No, get the fuck. Get. What? No,
Yeah.
I don't like this at all. All right, so
tongue punch the inside of her ear.
yep, drool
Ew.
dripping down my cheek.
Oh.
I've never been so caught off guard and confused. He then passes out on top of me. Now, he is at least 10 inches taller than me and probably 100 plus pounds more than I am. I had to go back to my rugby training to get this man off of me.
Oh my God.
I have never pieced the fuck out so hard. He tried to hit me up a few more times, but my ear and I were good.
Yeah.
I have always been worried about online dating.
You're gonna get an ear
because-
infection from that shit. You know
Oh,
what I
I
mean?
know.
Like, ugh.
Because I attract crazy people in real life.
Yeah.
I've always known my dates offline would probably be even worse. This was not a great first dip into the water of online dating. It truly is a great story though. Now I know not to overlook weird behavior.
Amen.
If they are that strange in public, they are probably weirder in the bedroom.
Absolutely.
Amen.
Absolutely.
fucking men.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Oh Lord.
Wow.
Leave my
Bad date,
leave my
good
ears
story.
alone.
That's our motto.
Tongue punching the ear hole. God.
Just listen, I clean out my ears, but even
It's
so, you're gonna get some earwax.
Yeah.
If you're really going in there.
Oh my God. And sir, like wrong area to be doing that in.
Yeah. Get your
like,
tongue punching somewhere else.
somewhere else. Exactly.
Sir, I'm gonna push your head.
Exactly. And lower.
Lower.
So
Lower,
are
lower,
you
lower.
guys ready for a
I don't know.
bananas
You have
crazy
been
in love?
talking up this story, so
No, nervous.
I'm just hoping. Okay. So listeners, every 3 weeks we all do a Crazy in Love. We research it, we find a story or whatever. So things have been kind of crazy. And like as of last night drinking with these girls, I'm like, I don't have a fucking Crazy in Love for tomorrow. Like, what am I going to do? I'm like, I'll wake up early. I'll watch a Dateline. And it'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
It'll be fine.
Dateline always comes through.
Dateline always comes through. Oh, so good. So I wake up and I put on a Dateline that I then realize is connected to another 3 Datelines.
Oh shit! You're like, I didn't sign up for all this.
It's a banger. It is a banger.
Holy shit!
It's literally, they have the first one's called Game Night, then the second one's called Return to Game Night.
Oh,
then there's like a third one
sequel.
called Stranger Than Fiction, and I forget what the fourth one was called. So
Shit.
this is
Damn.
a saga.
okay.
So I'm going to start from where I want to start.
Okay.
from. It's not the beginning, but
it's your
my
storytelling.
story.
Yeah, you do it how you want.
So around 9:40 p.m. on December 27th, 2011, Russ Faria returns home after a game night with his friends that he does every Tuesday. And
His name's Russ?
His name's Russ.
Okay.
So he walks in and he yells for his wife, Betsey. He's like, Betsey, like I'm home, that kind of thing.
He returns late?
It's usual for him. It's a
Okay.
usual time. Every Tuesday they
Oh,
have
you
a
said
game night.
9:40. That's not that
At
late.
like 9:40.
Okay.
And it's a
Okay.
game night. Is it like a D&D situation? Like
It looks like
because
it.
his wife isn't going with him, so
Correct.
it's like something he just does with
He
his friends.
just does with his
Okay.
friends.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So he comes across her body in the living room. He sees cut slices on her arms and a knife stuck in her neck.
Oh,
And he immediately freaks out and calls 911. And you hear his 911 call and he's freaking out. He's like, oh my God. I like, it's hysterical. And the 911 officer is like, what happened? And he says, I think my wife killed herself.
why? I mean, okay. Why would you assume that she killed herself? Who is killing themselves by sticking a knife in their neck?
Well,
You could do it.
I guess if the blood's not coming out fast enough, if you're cut your wrists or whatever, I don't know.
It just seems like a very weird way to kill yourself.
Yeah.
Correct.
I mean,
It does.
I'm not saying that it couldn't happen or it didn't happen. I'm just saying it's a weird first
Yeah, that was his first
assumption.
thought.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's go into Betsey Faria. Betsey Faria was a really gregarious woman. She's got like a bunch of sisters, and she was a DJ. Everyone's like, the party started with Betsey. Like she was just
Cool.
dancing, laughing, happy. It's just super like awesome to be around. Everyone loved her. She had the typical Dateline.
Yep.
Right.
Yulie,
They start playing the piano music, and you're like, okay, we're
lots
getting
of pictures.
She's a
Yeah.
good gal.
Everything is like backlit.
Yes.
Like lights shining through her.
And the thing is that Betsey actually, a few years prior, was diagnosed with breast cancer and fought it hard, and was in remission.
Aw.
However, they like planned this trip to celebrate her being in remission, and they find out like they're doing a cruise with all their friends and family. Fucking remission, yay!
Yeah.
Right before they go on the trip, they find out cancer is metastasized in her liver.
Oh,
It's too far in to operate. She has maybe 3 years.
Oh my God.
So she's like, you know what? We're going to do this trip anyways.
That's damn right.
We're going to celebrate. So that's the kind of person that she was. Now, they had been married since like 2000. So like over a
11
decade.
years. Okay.
Ups and downs, like a
Sure.
normal
Yeah, everybody.
relationship. Like at one point, they even lived apart for a year. And they had recently, she had joined a church and stuff right before her cancer diagnosis. And they started going to church again. And their marriage was in a good place, according to Russ and according to their friends and stuff like that. Like their involvement in this church kind of brought them back together.
Sure.
And things were good. So that night, police like take him in and they're like, so tell us about what you saw. Like, you think it's a suicide. You know she has over 50 stab wounds on her. And he's like, they show the interview. When they tell him that, he goes, oh God, and like gets really upset. And they're like, nobody, obviously it's not a suicide and it's not a burglary because no one's going to stab someone over 50 times. So like, where were you?
Yeah.
Where the fuck were you tonight? And he's like, I was at game night with my friends. And so they interview all the friends and everything. They're like, yeah, he was fucking here at game night.
Yeah.
She was already cold by the time they found her. So they knew that she had to have been killed around like 7.
Okay.
So they account for his whereabouts the entire evening. They fucking find that he like left work around 5 and then called Betsey to see if she needed a ride back from chemo. And she's like, no, my friend's going to take me back from chemo. You're good. Go to your game night. He's like, cool. Deuces. So he stops at a gas station, gets gas, and then he stops.
Which can all be videoed.
Yeah, it's videoed.
Trackable.
Stops at another gas station. Now this is in Troy, Missouri, is where this is happening. So small town, and his friends live in another small town, which I know from like Ohio. Sometimes like you're traveling from small town to small town. It's like 35 minutes away. My friend lives in
it's
Bell
not like
Fountain.
it's not
You know
like
what I
the West. Like if you live out west, it can be like miles and miles before you're gonna hit the next like town. Like that's the way it is like out west in the United States. But in the Midwest, it's like back to back small towns typically. Yeah. So you can be like, I'm from Missouri, so you'd be like, I live in Willard, they live in Ashgrove.
Exactly.
They're different towns, but it takes you 20 minutes to get to and from.
So his friends like live in another small town, about like 35 minutes away. So he meanders over there. He stops at a gas station, gets gas. Then he stops at another gas station to get like some cigarettes and another one to get some iced teas like right before, which I'm like,
why would you
make
stop
it
at
3 gas
gas
stations?
That
That's
is
a lot.
odd.
It is
Suspect.
suspicious. But they have him like his cell phone. They have video of him in those gas stations.
It's weird, but it's not enough to be like, I don't know, maybe he is one of those people who like doesn't think ahead at all. So he got gas and then he was like, actually I want some cigarettes. And he gets cigarettes and he's like, oh, actually I need to get like a drink. It's weird.
Yeah.
You know what? I've stopped at probably 2 gas stations before in a
because
trip.
you forget that you needed something. I mean,
I'm actually hungry. I'm gonna grab some snacks.
Yeah.
So he finally gets there for game night. They end up actually watching like a couple movies. They're all friends, and they strike me as like nerdy friends.
Sure.
So like
and this is something they do once a week, and
exactly.
Okay.
So they do that, and then at 9 is when it usually wraps up. So they all leave, and he stops at an Arby's, like right by the dude's face. He gets a couple sandwiches, meanders his way back home.
Get that roast beef.
Exactly, right?
Put cheese on that bitch.
Yeah.
So he gets home around 9:40, and that's when he makes the 911 call. Cell phone records back it up. 9:30.
Oh, 9:30. Okay.
Yeah. Cell phone records back up
2011.
the story. Like everything, like video of the gas station.
Yeah.
All of his friends tell the same thing. They're like, yeah, this is what happened.
Right.
Police are like, you fucking did it.
Why?
Whoa.
You did it. You're under arrest.
Wow.
So they arrest Russ for the murder of his wife.
How could they do that?
They do that because of Betsey's friend, Pam Hupp. So
Pam,
who looks like a Pam. She's got the Pam.
She got that. I want to speak to your manager haircut.
She does, and you'll see pictures of her. She definitely wants to speak to the manager immediately. So Pam is like, Betsey was terrified of Russ. Like Russ used to play this game where he would put a pillow over her face and be like, does this scare you? This is what it's going to be like when you're dead. And police ask Russ about this, and he's like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
And, like, regardless of whatever she's saying, even if he had done that, let's say, it's fucked up.
Yeah.
But he physically cannot be in 2 places at one time.
Right.
So you cannot.
Pam is the friend that drove Betsey home and was the last person to see her. And she's like, no, I didn't go inside. And
of course not.
Then the next interview, she's like, well, yeah, I went inside for like 10, 15 minutes.
So her story
Pam,
is
I'd like to
changing.
speak to your fucking manager.
Right,
Exactly. And then what's weird is just a couple weeks before, Betsey's life insurance had been changed so that Pam would be the beneficiary.
I'm sorry,
of a
these
$150,000.
These cops are
life
dumb as
insurance.
shit.
How and why?
Exactly. Are your minds blown? Because when I heard this, and they're like, thank you for your information, Miss Pam. Thank you. This is amazing. Russ you're under arrest for murder.
Did they interview in these Dateline episodes? Did they interview the cops?
No.
Oh, because these cops know they fucked up.
They have to. They have
This
to.
is the most fucked up shit I've ever heard.
This is the laziest
on
police
fire,
work.
On
well,
fire.
I mean, and this is what
the fucking defense attorney was just like, his name's like Joel Schwartz. He's kind of like an attractive guy, and he's just like,
what am I supposed to even do here?
I don't even know
because it's so
what this is. This is so fucking stupid. They kowtow to Pam. They allow her to say these like crazy stories and everything like that. And then the judge is like, they told them you can't bring up any of that stuff about the life insurance or anything like that at the trial.
What?
Police never look into her. They never do any interviews or anything.
Break something.
And he is convicted, guilty, life in prison.
Oh my!
For murdering his wife.
What?
Okay,
and he is legitimately has
so
proof
everyone
of him.
Like listen to this. Listen to this, because people get so hung up on like if someone is convicted of something then they deserve to be in prison and they and all of that shit. And I'm like, this is not uncommon.
Yeah.
Like things like this really
happen
bad
in small
police
towns
work
all the time.
It happens all the time.
I have a question. Is this a black man?
No.
Oh, I was like certain it was. I was like, this is a black man. That's a white woman, right?
Yeah.
That's what happened.
No,
Yeah.
but it's just like
this kind of injustice is
cops
fucking
decide.
wild.
They just decide like, this is what I believe.
And this is the stuff that's going to match my thoughts.
One of the sadder parts too is that right after it happens, so her family, police were like, so do you think like Russ did it? And they were like, no,
which is also
absolutely
planting.
not.
It's leading questions
Exactly.
to even ask that in the first place.
Listening to the interviews and the amount of leading questions, because we'll get to it. They're like, do you think Russ did it? And they're like, no, absolutely not. And then come to like the trial, and then her family gets interviewed. They're like, Russ did it 100%.
Oh my God.
And the Dateline people are like, so if you saw evidence like that completely proved that someone else did it, would you like give it a shot? And they're like, no, Russ did it.
Wow.
Literally flat out said, like the mom is like, I know Russ did it.
Why?
I know. And it's so fucking weird. It's like
hate
people
people.
shut
I
their
do.
brains
Like-
down. Because I'm like,
They just can't.
I
see
just
the
told
truth.
you the fucking bare bones like version of the events. And you are like, anybody with a fucking brain, your phone. So what the prosecutors did is they were like, the game night people were in on it.
Okay.
They were in on it. It was this plot to kill Betsey because he wanted the life insurance money.
But it's not even in her
It's
name.
not in-
It's not even in her fucking
Exactly.
name. Like this shit, it makes me so like I honestly like my blood is boiling right now because this shit like people think it's uncommon and
For
like it's something strange.
$150,000.
And
Sir.
Yeah.
it upsets me like so deeply that someone could have their entire life just fucking ruined like this.
Ruined.
Wow.
And what is
so-
in it for the prosecutors and what is in it for the police to try and make this happen? I don't understand.
Right. So what happens is like Pam ends up like talking to the insurance company and linking them up with the police, and the police are like, nope, she's absolutely not a suspect. So they cut her a check for the $150,000.
Wow.
Which her excuse for this whole thing was like, Betsey wanted me to have this money because she didn't trust Russ wouldn't blow through it, and this was set up for her daughters. So then there's an interview with the police right before the trial, because this is, months later. They're like, you should probably set up a trust so that it looks really good that you're going to give that money to the girls. And she's like, oh, yeah. So she sets up a trust for the two daughters, runs it all through the trial. And then as soon as the trial's done, a couple days after that, she defunds it.
I am furious.
And then when asked about it later, she's like, oh, no. She never said it was for her daughter. She said it was for me. Absolutely not, is what she says.
Why would she?
Wow.
Why would she? If she had kids and she knew she was going to die, which she
This
did,
bitch.
why the fuck would she not want to give? Listen, we gotta.
This bitch.
So that, by the way, is the plot of the very first Dateline episode, which is game night.
And
So
then everybody
he's
watched
guilty.
Dateline and they were like, nah, not
Nah,
today.
not
We're
today.
gonna do something.
So
for
they're like,
Russ.
return of the game night. Return of the game night. So round two.
Round two.
That's where we stand. His defense attorney was aghast at like the just level of
Fucking
incompetence.
the fuckery.
And was
The
just like
fuckery.
the absolute fucking
Wow.
of everything. And was like, nah, I'm going to file an appeal. Like, this is ridiculous. An innocent man is in prison. Everyone know, like, he's innocent because people can't be in two fucking places at the same time. Right. And we know for a fact he was at these places. He's on fucking camera at a gas station while he's being murdered, and no one is looking at the last person who took this bitch home, who, by the way, so he starts digging.
Fucking money.
Exactly. So Pam takes her home and then like supposedly like leaves and calls her at 7:40 saying, I got home. So that call is on the phone records, but where she pings is at her fucking house.
I mean, Cassie and I are gonna leave. Like, we're just gonna leave at this point. I mean,
dude, you have to watch these Datelines. I was like literally laying in my bed. I was like,
so
what?
Mad.
What?
I don't know if anything else makes me more angry than this kind of thing. Like this kind of like just blatant injustice, and like it's so. I'm gonna throw a chair. I won't.
So, but they're getting ready for the second trial, and all of a sudden, Pam starts having recovered memories.
Oh, fuck you. Oh my God.
Magical motherfucking bitch.
Where
she's
here. Like,
God damn.
All of a sudden, like, I remember that Russ was parked down the street with another man in his car. Mm-hmm. So he's like, oh, that's an interesting, like, tale that you're telling.
Yeah.
Well,
so
she's gotten away with so much dumb shit at this point.
Looks
she probably thinks she's untouchable.
Police interviews. And it's so weird that just a week and a half before that, the police asked her point blank, do you remember this car? Do you remember this car with someone else in it? And she's like, no.
All of these cops should be fired, by the way. For like that, like you are leading your witnesses.
Yeah. So then she comes back like a week and a half later with that cop's tale as her own, as a recovered memory.
Oh, it's magic.
And she also starts saying like that she drops the bombshell that her and Betsey were having a lesbian affair.
Oh my God, of course they have. Okay.
Which there's
the only puzzle piece that was missing here.
Yeah.
Great.
And then is like, oh, by the way, did you check her laptop? Because she had told me she had written me a letter and she'd never sent it. But she told me that she did. So they were finally able to find this.
Okay. Also, in what scenario would you tell somebody, I wrote you a love letter, but I'm not going to send it to you?
It
like,
wasn't what scenario
love letter.
Would you say
that?
It was like all about the insurance policy and is like kind of like implicating that she was scared of Russ. It was on a Word 97 program.
But would you ever tell somebody like, hey, I'll just BT dubs, I wrote you a letter.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you just send it?
Yeah, it's on a program that was downloaded specifically to write that letter. There's no other like documents written with it. And it's author unknown. Like, it's just so fucking shady. So all that shady stuff. And then his defense lawyer is like flexing. He's like,
here we go. Here we go.
I got you, fam. Which of course he like tore it the fuck down.
Yeah.
During the whole thing. And Russ is out now. He was acquitted.
Thank
all the
God.
charges were dropped.
But there's two more.
But there's two more.
Where the fuck is
Where's
Pam?
Because this is like 2015 by this point.
Oh,
so
he spent like 4 years in prison.
Fuck. Fuck.
Yeah. So here's where it goes now.
Also, I need to know about this insurance policy and how that changed.
Pam went to civil court. The two daughters took her to civil court.
Good.
And were like, that's our motherfucking money.
Yeah, bitch.
She's like, no,
with it.
It's not, or whatever. They did actually in May of this year. They lost. So
the kids lost.
The kids lost.
Shut the fuck up.
Yep.
This fucking dumb cunt.
This cunt. This absolute
There
cunt.
is no other word.
Exactly.
Truly.
So the other thing that developed this time, the deputy attorney and the chief of police were voted out. And a big part of it was because of the mishandling of this case. Because it's pretty common knowledge in that fucking thing. Like, the tide is turned.
Yeah.
Beyond, like, Betsey's family, everyone else in the town is like,
how is Betsey's family? I just don't.
I don't understand that at all.
I think maybe grief does like weird fucking shit to people.
Yeah.
Like, it does weird things.
Or
and
you like want to trust the police or something.
And I think when everything is so out of control that you cannot make sense of it, I think you tell a story to yourself
I need a tidy
that
ending.
makes you feel better. You're just like, this is the story, and I'm not letting go of this story because I just can't like cope with anything
what about
else.
the children?
No. So, okay. So it's like 2015, almost 2016. The case is reopened. Betsey's case. They're like, okay, well, he didn't do it. He's not guilty. Mm-hmm. So what now?
Yeah, someone did it 50-something times.
Someone did it.
Stabbed?
Yeah. Yeah. So.
And it's not the woman who stole her money?
There's a 911 call placed by Pam while she's being chased by this guy, Louis, and I can't pronounce his last name. It starts with a G, but it's really long. So she's being chased by this Louis, and shots are fired. She kills him. She shoots him 5 times. And the cops come, and there's all these notes on him saying, like, kill Pam, do this, do this.
XO Russ.
Basically, what has happened is, and this is the latest iteration of the story, is that the problem is that Louis is mentally and physically handicapped.
Oh.
So what they have found is that she was going around town posing as a Dateline producer, trying to pay people to reenact a 911 call. So she finally got this guy to do it, lured him to her house, this mentally handicapped man, and fucking killed him, and then planted stuff on him to make it look like Russ was trying to kill her because she knew that she was going to be implicated. So it was a way to divert attention to her from
completely
herself.
innocent. Someone completely on the out. Not that everyone else involved isn't innocent, but someone completely on the outside of all of this.
Yep.
Who wouldn't have thought to say, like, I need to see proof that you're
Right.
Oh my God.
a Dateline producer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my God.
How insane.
She's evil. Like,
She's
is
evil.
that evil?
Pure evil.
Since then, they've also opened up her mother's death in 2013.
This bitch.
Because once her mother died, her mother who had dementia and was living in assisted living, her mother died under suspicious circumstances in that there was a broken balcony and she had fallen to her death, but had a shit ton of drugs in her system. And Pam was the last person to see her.
Again,
and before she left, she told the staff, "Oh, Mom won't be coming down for dinner tonight or breakfast tomorrow." And inherited $120,000 in property from her mother. So this bitch this year just happened a couple months ago.
People.
She's killed 3 people for sure. She's this fucking serial killer.
Yeah.
She's a serial killer. Mm-hmm. So she just had an Alford guilty plea for the murder of Louis.
Meaning that she's not going to admit,
She's not going to admit guilt.
But
she'll
she won't
spend
contest
life in prison.
Wow.
But the case for Betsey is still, it's being reopened as of June of 2019, but is still not technically solved.
What's scary is like the people at the top there involved.
All the way to the top.
All the way up. The people at the top there ended up losing their jobs.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you that like a lot of those cops are still working there.
Yeah.
Like that, isn't that terrifying?
That is.
That it's just like
They just want a closed case.
They can decide, and you know what? They could have had a closed case with the right person, with Pam,
with
but
the very person who, like,
decided-
Google was like, yeah, she was fucking there.
right,
That was the time of death.
right.
She
But
was there.
That should
He was
scare
over here.
every single
was
person.
there.
That should scare every single person. That like, and it happens all the time,
Right.
Where
Shit like that
they
is my
can
worst fear.
just decide,
Being accidentally accused of something.
right, wrongfully accused, and
Oh
go to
my God.
jail
It
for the
is
rest of your life,
literally
and
my
it
nightmare.
does
It's so
happen.
scary.
And there is nothing they could ever give you. There is no settlement. There's no amount of like money
Right.
that the state could ever give you that would make up for however many years. There have been cases where people have spent 20 years in jail before they get in prison, federal prison.
Yeah.
There is nothing that
It's
they could give you
horrifying.
to make up for that.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you can't make up time.
Yeah. You can't.
It's and
And
in
those
those
experiences.
conditions.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
And
horrifying.
Not only that, like my heart goes out for Russ because it's like, yeah, they had like rough patches and stuff in their marriage, but like from everything that I heard the 911 call, I heard like his interviews and stuff. He legitimately was like so shaken by that. He loved her. He loved his wife.
Yeah.
And had been by her side for this cancer
Fighting through all of that.
diagnosis and knew he was going to lose her. Went through through her rough days where she's like, I just don't think I can fight. I want to kill myself, to days where she's like, I think I'm going to play tennis. Like, I just feel really good today. And he was by her fucking side. So coming in and finding his wife's body was traumatic enough. And then to be acute when you know in your heart, you're like, I wasn't there. I didn't do this.
And other people know it too.
How can you not believe this?
And other people know it too. That would be the biggest mind fuck too. It's that you're like, you're
This can't
feeling
happen.
this
Like,
injustice because you're just like, where am I living in a Black Mirror episode? I don't understand.
Right.
Like, am I living in the Twilight Zone? Because literally it's not like I don't have an alibi or I don't have witnesses. Like, I do. Like, I have all of this stuff. There's no way. And you're probably going through the whole trial thinking like, there's no way. Like, there's no way. This is all going to blow over. It'll all just be a nightmare.
This is nothing.
Right. And then to get convicted of it would just be...
Jesus.
I don't know how you reconcile that, like mentally. I don't know how you get around it.
So yeah, when they did arrest Pam for the murder of Louis, by the way, like the first thing she did when she got into the cell was she stuck a ballpoint pen in both of her wrists and her neck to try to commit suicide. So, which is weird because it's obviously the same wounds from
minus
on Becky,
40,
minus the 40 other,
7.
which actually were post-mortem. So the
that seems like
pathologist
rage.
was like she was trying to make it look like a crime of passion.
She was staging
So,
overkill.
I see. She was staging rage.
overkill.
Oh.
That's the theory. Is that because
It was a calculated
lot
murder
of blood. So
staged.
that's why he comes in and he sees the bloody cuts and he's like, I
Because
think
they
my wife
clotted.
committed suicide
I see.
because he didn't see the other
I see.
50 cuts on her or stab wounds.
wow.
How fucking bananas is that story?
That
It is a Dateline saga, and then to pose as a Dateline producer, that whole section of it, I'm like, this fucking bitch. When you see pictures of her, she's a Pam of all ages, man. She is the Pammiest Pam.
Apologies, not all Pams.
Not all Pams, but
Apologies.
she is the Pam.
Right.
Wow.
Yeah. The Pam from Missouri. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Whew. God damn.
Pam.
Serial killer.
Yep.
And it's wild. So yeah, check out.
God, people are crazy.
You've got Game Night, Return to Game Night, and oh God,
You said it earlier.
I know. I can't remember at this point, but start there. Those are the first two, and then it just gets wild. And it's still, like I said, they're still unraveling. Like the whole, like she might have murdered her mom is coming into it, and it's bananas. So yeah, there you go.
Well, I feel emotionally drained at the moment.
My eyes are so big right now.
Yeah.
So big.
Dateline will always
come through for you.
Yeah, always. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that story.
You're welcome.
Oof. Okay, so should we stan a fan?
Yes.
I have one. So I have talked to, she was someone who submitted a story to us in one of our very first episodes that we had a long time ago. And I don't know how I got in touch with her, but she talks to me a lot on Facebook now. Like she'll send me things. She's actually sent me a Crazy in Love recommendation that I think I will do next time. And she's just really active, and I really have enjoyed having talks with her. So Liz Fritch, thanks so much for listening. You've been a listener from the beginning. You've submitted stories to us, suggestions. I've loved, communicating with you. and getting to know you kind of like on a personal level has been really, really cool. So thanks.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, what else are we doing this week? We've talked about To Live and Die in LA,
Yeah.
which we're all listening to and obsessed with. Yeah, I started Culpable.
Oh,
which is their next one.
You were telling me.
I'm 2 episodes in on that, and it's
super good.
Yeah,
I watched
I'm into
the first 2 seasons of Outlander.
Oh God, yeah.
They were on Netflix. And here's the thing about it. I cannot decide
It's yikes
how I feel about it because
it almost had me until that last episode, and I was like, Jesus.
It sucks you in on like almost like a soap opera level of like shit going on, and the sex scenes are like wild. So some of them are
hey
real sexy.
Yeah,
but some of them are real rapey.
Well, I don't consider those sex scenes.
Yeah,
no. But then there are like really, really troubling graphic scenes. As well. I mean, overall, I enjoyed the show outside
like
of
the time travel, like
romance,
of it,
novelty kind of thing. But yeah, if you are sensitive, like highly sensitive to that shit,
trigger warning,
especially on the last season of last episode of season 1.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Hard.
I was like,
yikes.
I'm gonna take a shower.
Yeah. Several.
Very, very, very hot. Gotta wash my brain out now.
Yeah.
I've only been waiting for fucking ever for this, but finally Veronica Mars, the first 3 seasons, well, the only 3 seasons were released on Hulu finally. So I'm playing catch up because they're going to release a new season. Of course, they have the movie, and then they're going to release a new season at the end of this month. And I am playing catch up, and I'm so excited, and I love that show, and I'm such a marshmallow, and I'm here for it.
Yay.
So, yeah, I'm stoked.
Cool. Are you watching anything new right now?
No, I'm looking. I'm searching for something
Mars.
new. I know. Well, now that I know it's on Hulu, I have to get Hulu. I mean, I don't have Hulu.
Oh,
you can use mine, but there you go.
So yeah, no, I have Netflix and Prime. So yeah, nothing new.
Yeah. All right. Well, if you have any stories you would like to submit to us, or if you just want to kind of hang out with us, you should join us in the Facebook group if you want to just chill and hang out with us. If you would like to submit a story, you can do so at myworstdatepodcast@gmail.com, or you can also hit us up on our website, which is kind of a one-stop shop for information for us, and that is myworstdatepodcast.com. And I think that's everything.
Thank you so much for listening, and we will see you next time.
Cheers.